What are we looking for? Dogs.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Bird, and we're back on Bird's Eye View with it. Like always, appreciate the love and support. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Stop what you're doing. Smash the like button, smash subscribe button. Hop in the comment section, comment whatever you want. Of course, I'm dropping daily bangers day by day. You know, we got news today coming out of Colorado. And we're going to jump right into it, dog. So, of course, we back with another recap with this Colorado football program. As always, shout out Well Off Media, Reach the People Media, the pregame show, for providing us this phenomenal footage each and every day. As we all know, the NFL draft has concluded. And, of course, our Colorado Buffaloes were well represented in the draft and also after the draft as well. We have 10 players that had their NFL dreams come true. Obviously, 4 were drafted, 4 were undrafted free agents, and another 2 have rookie mini camp invites, man. Definitely proud of all 10 of these young men without question. And of course, the grind really starts now because we got to make these teams. We got to make these 53-man roster. Even if you don't make the 53, we got to make the P squad. We got to stay in the building without question. And I can't wait to see all 10 of these young men play on Sundays. Of course, we're going to start with our drafted guys first here. And obviously, we have to start with Travis Hunter, selected by the Jacksonville Jaguars in round 1 of the 2025 NFL draft. Of course, he was the second pick in the draft, the most decorated player in college football history. There will never be another Travis Hunter, at least not for my lifetime anyway. Won 8 major college football awards, including 6 trophies. He was a consensus National Player of the Year, won the Heisman Trophy, won the Walter Camp Award, won the National Player of the Year by both Associated Press and Sports News, earned multiple Defensive Player of the Year honors like National Defensive Player of the Year awards, the Benerick Award, the Lot Impact Trophy. He was also given the Paul Hornung Award again for the nation's most versatile player. That's back-to-back seasons. He won the Bolitnikoff Award as well for the nation's best receiver. I mean, he's unbelievable. There's no other word to describe Travis Hunter. He was also an academic All-American as well, too. So he's an All-American on the field and off the field. Of course, he was a unanimous first-team All-American, earning 8 honors from 5 different publications. And he was the first player in history of the Walter Camp American team to be named first team on offense and defense. He's also the first player in history of the AP All-American team to earn mentions at 3 different positions, including 2 first-team selections as well. He was also named Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, honorable mention for Offensive Player of the Year, and of course, first team All Big 12 on both offense and defense. An unreal career, dog. It was a pleasure watching 12 play each and every Saturday, dog. Don't take this for granted, dog. I'm telling y'all right now, we may not ever, and I don't think we will, see another season like what we saw out of Travis Hunter in 2024. Again, the most decorated player in college football history, the most decorated season in college football history. Kudos to Travis Hunter. Can't wait to see what you do in the pros. Let's keep it rolling, dog. Of course, our QB1, Shadore Sanders, selected by the Cleveland Browns in round 5 of that 2025 NFL draft. Of course, he was the 144th pick. Obviously, we know he's one of the most accomplished quarterbacks in college football history. Finished his career 50 games played in 4 seasons, completed 1,267 passes, completed 70% of his passes for his career, 14,353 yards, 134 touchdowns, only 27 interceptions. He threw a touchdown in 49 straight games. Again, the longest streak in NCAA Division I history, FBS and FCS. And it's the second longest streak in the NCAA's history. It will be the 3rd longest streak in NFL history. He finished his career ranked 14th in NCAA history, FBS, FCS, with 14,343 yards, and just the second quarterback in history with 14,000 plus yards while completing 70+% of his passes. Of the quarterbacks with 13,000 plus yards, he is one of 8 in history to have 100 more touchdowns than interceptions. In only 24 games in his Colorado career, he broke over 100 school records, and he finished 3rd in passing, 5th in attempts, 3rd in completions, 1st in passing touchdowns, and of course he was the top for the quarterback rating in school's history as well. Completed one of the best seasons Colorado history we'll ever see, right? He won the Johnny Unitas Award as a top quarterback in college football. He was named first team All-American by CFN and second team by the Associated Press. Was named the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year by the coaches, AP, SIS as well. And of course, he was Big 12 Quarterback of the Year. He also set CU single season records for passing yards, completions, attempts, touchdowns, completion percentage, quarterback rating. His 7 300-yard games and 8 games with 3+ touchdowns are also new records at Colorado as well. He was responsible for 41 touchdowns this past season, 37 passing, 4 rushing. He's the first player in Colorado's history to have 40 or more touchdowns in a season. Of course, he was named National Player of the Week 5 times from the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, 2 times from the Davey O'Brien Award, twice from the Earl Campbell Award as well. Again, he had a unreal season, unreal career, right? And obviously, we all know he was supposed to hear his name called in the first round. I'm going to stand on that. He was the best quarterback in this draft. And of course, he's going to come back. We'll all see it. We'll look back on it years from now, and we'll laugh at it, years from now. But it's wrong how he was done without question, man. We already know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? What's understood ain't got to be explained. Of course, the prank call was ridiculous. That was nasty work, dog. But, at the end of the day, he got his name called. He's going to get an opportunity, right, to step in and compete for a starting job right away. And I think he's going to definitely win that job, man. Again, it was a pleasure to be able to watch 2 and to cover 2 for these, the last couple years, man. Again, it was definitely a pleasure. Can't wait to see what you can do in the pros, dog. Let's keep it rolling here, man. We have Leonte Wester, of course, selected in round 6 by the Baltimore Ravens in that 2025 NFL draft. He was pick number 203. Obviously, in his one and only season at Colorado, played in all 13 games, starting 12 of them into his season with 74 catches, 931 yards, 10 touchdowns on offense. Of course, he had a 76-yard punt return against Utah as well. He put himself in the record books in just one season with his receptions ranking 7th in CU's history. His receiving yards ranked 12th. And of course, receiving touchdowns put him 4th all-time in one single season, and he's 20th total all-time in Colorado's history. Him and Travis Hunter became the first duo to each have at least 10 receiving touchdowns in the same season in Colorado's history. Leonte finished his career as the active leader in consecutive games with a reception at 50 games, of course, going back to his time at FAU. He finished his career with 326 career receptions, which ranked 6th all-time in FBS history. He had 3 multi-touchdown games this season. Of course, at FAU, he was unbelievable, right? At FAU, what he was able to do. Of course, we mentioned his, his junior year, over 100 catches, 1,100 yards. I mean, he was special at FAU, and I'm so glad that he's getting the opportunity to hear his name get called. And he's going to a pretty solid situation, dog, in Baltimore. I love, being able to team him up, of course, with Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers as well. I mean, it's going to be fun watching Tay definitely compete with Baltimore. He's going to help that team out without question, and it's going to be fun tracking him. Again, it was a pleasure to be able to watch you that one year at Colorado, dog, and I cannot wait to see your success at the next level. Let's keep it rolling, man. We got another speedster at wide receiver, Jimmy Horn Jr., selected by the Carolina Panthers in round 6 of that 2025 NFL draft. He was picked 208, so he was only 5 selections behind Leonte, man. Jimmy, we all love Jimmy without question, dog. Played and started in 11 games during 2024. He missed most of the last 3 games, of course, due to injury. He finished the season with 37 receptions, still with 441 yards, receiving 1 touchdown. Of course, averaged 21 yards per kick return. He opened the season up 7 catches, $198, 1 touchdown against North Dakota State. Of course, with Leonte Wester, the two became the first CU pair to each have a game with at least 175 yards receiving in the same season. Of course, he played in the 2025 East-West Shrine Bowl as well. He was preseason CFN honorable mention wide receiver. And of course, this young man, dating back to 2023, which is his first season with the Buffs. Of course, he had 58 catches, 567 receiving yards, and 6 touchdowns. He was second on the team in receptions that year. He was third on the team in receiving yards that year. And then obviously he led Colorado in receiving touchdowns with 6 in 2023. He had a season high and career high 11 catches against TCU in his debut as a Buff. Of course, we all know his situation with his father, man. So we love the fact that Jimmy is able to move forward and obtain and achieve all his goals, and his father is still going to be able to watch his son play football. And of course, we can't wait until he's able to watch him in person, dog. Kudos to Jimmy Horn. It was also another pleasure being able to watch you suit up for the Buffs each and every Saturday as well. And you're in another good situation too with Carolina. The Panthers actually had a really, really good draft. If you go back and look at the Panthers selections, they had a solid draft, dog. One of the best out of all 32 teams in the league for sure. And Jimmy is going to a good situation, bro. Of course, with Bryce Young, and now, they got T-Mac as well in the first round. And then, of course, they got Leggett that they drafted out of South Carolina last year. So, they still got Adam Thielen there too. It's going to be some fun in Carolina, man. They're going to have a little explosive offense for sure, especially on the outside. Looking forward to seeing Jimmy compete, man. Let's get into our undrafted free agent Buffs here. Our guys that didn't hear their name called, but they're still going to get every opportunity to make a team, right? Let's start with our heart and soul of our defense. Number 7, Cam Silman Craig. Of course, he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, played and started in all 13 games during the 2024 season, was given the L on his jersey, which of course signified him as a leader on this team. He led the team with 93 total tackles. He had 65 unassisted tackles to go with 10 tackles for loss, 6 quarterback hurries. He had 3 PBUs, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and of course 1 interception as well. We all remember that 95-yard scoop and score against UCF. That was the second longest touchdown in CU's history. Of course, Silman Craig finished the season 9th in Big 12 in total tackles. He was 2nd in the Big 12, and he finished 7th in the nation in solo tackles. Of course, we know he was invited to that East-West Shrine game as well. He was all Big 12 as well. And of course, that season this year followed the 2023 season where he had a solid year for us as well. And then, of course, dating back to Jackson State where he had over 100 tackles at Jackson State in only 25 games. He was first team all SWAC at Jackson State as well. So a lot of success in Cam's career. Super excited to see him team back up with Travis Hunter in Jacksonville, man. It's definitely going to be fun. It was a pleasure watching 7, watching Shock in the Water, man, each and every week, dog. Can't wait to see you at the pro level. Let's keep it rolling, man, with Headache Gang CEO Shadore Sanders signed an undrafted free agent deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shadore played and started in 10 games during the 2024 season. Of course, finished the season 3rd on the team with 67 total tackles. He had 2 tackles for loss, 2 PBUs, 2 fumble recoveries, had 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. He also had a defensive touchdown as well. Back-to-back seasons with a defensive touchdown. As we all know, he had the pick 6 against Colorado State in 2023 as well. So that's back-to-back seasons with a defensive touchdown for Shadore. Of course, he played in the 2025 East-West Shrine Bowl game as well. As we all know, back in 2023, right? He was tied for first in solo tackles in the Pac-12 with 55. He was first in the Pac-12 and 2nd in the country in forced fumbles with 4. And he was first in the country for a DB with forced fumbles. Of course, that's dating back to 2023. So, obviously, Shadore has been doing some great things for our Colorado football program, right? Known for his physicality and his IQ. And of course, I can't wait to see him, team up with Coach Bowles, a defensive-minded head coach. It's going to be fun to watch him compete in Tampa Bay throughout camp. And, Shadore's going to do everything that he can to make that 53-man roster. And like I said, if guys don't make the 53, it's still not a loss, because if you can make the P squad, dog, you still there every week. You still getting paid a good amount of money, dog, on the P squad. And you still got a chance to get pulled up to the active roster. So I just want to see our guys stay in the building. As long as our guys stay in the building, whether that's on 53 or P squad, dog, I'm cool with it, man. It was a pleasure watching Shadore Sanders as well. Can't wait to see you ball out at the next level. Let's keep it rolling, dog. BJ Green, of course, signed a undrafted free agent deal with, guess who? The Jacksonville Jaguars as well. That's now 3 Colorado Buffaloes that are going to be in Jacksonville competing to be a part of 53. Of course, BJ, dog, played in all 13 games during the 2024 season, started the final 11, finished the season with 33 total tackles, 13 quarterback hurries, 12 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Of course, he had 1 fumble recovery, had a block kick as well. He was all Big 12 Defensive Newcomer of the Year. He was all Big 12 first team. He was all Big 12 AP first team as well. He made like 3 first team lists for all Big 12, CFN, AP, and the coaches. Of course, he was CFN all Big 12 Defensive Lineman of the Year. Played in the 2025 Hula Bowl. Of course, this young man, coming off a huge season at Arizona State as well. His career at Arizona State, when he played in 36 games across 3 seasons, had 60 tackles, 21 for loss, 13 and a half sacks, 1 forced fumble as well. Of course, in 2023, after his junior season, he was named All Pac-12 as well. So, that's back-to-back seasons where he's been all conference in 2 different conferences. It was another pleasure watching BJ fly off the edge for this Colorado football program. Salute to his family as well. They always show me love every time I saw them in Boulder, Colorado, dog. So can't wait to see BJ as well. I think he makes that Jacksonville Jaguars team. BJ Green is a talented football player, man, that done a lot of things well. I believe he deserved to hear his name get called. But at the end of the day, he's in a good situation in Jacksonville, and I think he makes that ball club. Let's keep it rolling, dog. On the offensive side of the ball, we got Will Sheppard, of course, signed the undrafted free agent deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I actually love that destination for Will as well. We did have the most wide receivers drafted out of any school in the draft this year, and we were missing one with Will Sheppard because he definitely should have heard his name called. But Will lived with the undrafted free agent, of course, played and started all 13 games in 2024, finished the season with 48 catches, 621 yards, 6 touchdowns, scored a touchdown in 5 different games this season. Of course, he played in the 2025 East-West Shrine Bowl as well. As we all know, coming from Vandy, he is going to go down as one of the best wide receivers in Vandy's history. He played there from 2020 to 2023, and he's the 8th receiver in Vandy's history to eclipse the 2,000 career receiving yard mark. He's tied for 3rd in the school's history with 21 career receiving touchdowns. He's also ranked 7th all-time in Vandy's history in career yards. Of course, he was all SEC at Vanderbilt his senior year. He ranked in the top 15 in the SEC in receiving yards per game, total touchdowns, and yards per reception. Of course, he had a very solid career at Vandy, and then he transitioned over to Colorado and continued to have success. And like I said, he should have heard his name got called. We should have had 4 wide receivers that got drafted. Of course, like I said, I love where he's ended up in Tampa Bay. Of course, Mike Evans is there as well, similar style wide receiver that he can definitely learn and grow from. And like I said, I believe Will has a really, really great chance of making this roster as well too. If not, P squad. But I mean, in my opinion, NFL wide receiver, that label definitely belongs to Will Sheppard. And again, I do believe that he will ultimately end up making that roster, and he's gonna have a damn good career, man. Will is a really, really solid wide receiver that can make a lot of plays. It was another pleasure watching Will suit up in a Colorado Buffaloes uniform as well, and I can't wait to watch his future success in the league. Let's switch over to the rookie minicamp guys, and we're going to start with Justin Mayers. Of course, this young man here signed a rookie minicamp deal with the Denver Broncos, dog. Hey, salute to Justin Mayers, man. You already know the count there. That's my dog, man. Got a lot of love for Justin Mayers, man, and what he was able to bring to this program. Of course, in one season at Colorado, played in 11 games, started 7. He started 6 games at left guard, 1 of them at right guard. He played the 5th most snaps on the offensive line with 484, 366 pass blocking snaps, only allowed 2 sacks and 5 hurries this past season. Of course, he played in the 2025 Hula Bowl All-Star game as well. We know about his career at UTEP. Played in 35 career games there. Obviously, right, started at 12 games at left guard in 2023. Had a very solid pass blocking grade above 80. Right, he had 6 games above 80 in 2023. Only allowed 1 sack on 402 passing attempts in UTEP in 2023. So it was a pleasure watching him protect too as well, dog. Can't wait to see you continue to grow. Hey, dog, you know what you got to do. You got to impress during this rookie minicamp, so then you'll get an invite to training camp, man, and then continue to push and make this team, dog. I'm rooting for you, man, without question, dog. I can't wait to see you ball out at the next level. Last but certainly not least here, we have Herman Smith. He signed a undrafted free agent deal with the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, Herm, right, played in 12 games during the regular season, primarily on special teams. Finished the season with 5 tackles. He had the 6th most special teams plays on the team. right? Of course, coming from Jackson State, along with Idaho State as well. He played there in 2023. I'm happy to see Herm get an opportunity, right, to continue to showcase his ability. And like I said, same thing with Justin, dog. Get in there rookie minicamp, grind out, man, get a training camp invite, dog, and continue to compete and try to make that team. And guys, if you don't make the team, dog, the P Squad is still available for you where you can still make a living and you're still in the building, dog. Salute to all of our Colorado Buffaloes. Salute to everybody involved, man. This is huge, dog. 10 guys in the league, man. But not going to keep it long. Just want to bring you guys on the phenomenal update. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe, dog. Bird's Eye View, man.